Hey there, I'm Lauren. Welcome to Social Work Scrapbook. In this video, I am sharing all the tricks to landing a school social work position. These are very coveted positions because there's just so many perks that go along with these types of roles. If you don't know what a school social worker is or does, please check out the playlist that I have linked down below. Lots of videos here on Social Work Scrapbook because that's what I do. I have landed all my school social work positions using these very tips and techniques, so stay tuned and I will share them all with you. So let's get the basic stuff out of the way. You want to be sure you are arriving early to the interview, especially when you're interviewing for a school. You may be reporting to the actual campus that is hiring you. You may be going to a district office. Either way, you want to make sure that you're there on time because schools have very limited parking, at least the ones that I've interviewed to. So you may have to walk a little bit to find the front office or find whichever office you're going to have to go to. It takes a little bit of time. So give yourself at least 20 to 30 minutes. It's never bad to be early anyway. Get the kind of nerves out of the way. I also want to touch a little bit on what to wear. Definitely do not wear what I'm wearing right now. I'm in relaxation mode on one of my weekends right now. This is not what I would wear to a job interview. I will link a few videos down below on what school social workers wear, at least what I wear. You can find that video linked down below. I'm doing everything all wrong in this video. Definitely sit up nice and tall. Make sure you're smiling. Air that confidence that you have because they're really trying to find the perfect match for their campus and you want to show that you are that. Okay. And I also have a role play video. So we'll talk about the 2-minute tell me about you speech in a second. That is very, very helpful. So many of you have gotten your first social work jobs based off of this. But anyway, I digress. This video is specific for school social workers. I'm going to go down memory lane for just a bit. I remember in my interview, I was a little overwhelmed because there was more people in the interview than I expected. So I had the principal, the vice principal, I had the social work director, the director of guidance and curriculum was there, and I believe there was one more person there. Maybe it was there's a few different vice principals in schools, especially secondary, so there was a few different people there. So that interview panel I felt was rather large. Of course, they're going to expect you to share a little bit about your experience. The first question is always a tell me about yourself question. If you don't hear that question, still, I would memorize the tell me about you speech that I have linked down below because it is just going to help the dynamic in the interview. We're all nervous going into an interview. I share a role play in that specific video that you can watch. So depending on what type of school you are interviewing with, secondary or elementary, secondary meaning middle school or high school, for those of you that don't know that term. So you want to make sure that you're highlighting some of your best assets that go along with that population. To any experience that you have with parents and families, highlight those things. If you have experience in CPS, that is always a big ooh-ah moment for the interview panel because it shows that you've been on that side. Schools make a lot of referrals to CPS, which is Child Protective Services, and they want to know that the social worker they're bringing on campus has that background and experience to help the families and the students and the staff as well navigate that experience for them. If you don't have those experiences though, no worries at all. Highlight what you can bring to the program. So if you've worked in schools before, around schools before, mention that. Any work with special ed, me evento, which is your homeless population, any case management experience, attendance or dropout recovery experience is going to be really, really important, especially for those secondary grades, the high school and middle school. What else? You can definitely expect to be asked what would you do type of questions in the interview. So I got a question thrown out to me, which was, what would you do if a child discloses aggression in the home? How would you handle that? And they kind of want to hear a start to finish, but really what they're listening for is the word safety. They want to make sure that you're going to assess for the safety of the child, and you're also going to collaborate with those around you to help meet these needs of the child and the family. So for example, in that interview question, I did mention that I would definitely believe everything that the child is sharing with me. and make sure that that child is safe. I would then inform my administration and other school staff that need to know in order to help this child get home safely and stay safe. So I want to throw out a few more key words to share in the interview. Try to pepper them in because these words will always be sought after, whether they know it or not, by the interview panel. And that word is collaboration. In social work, oftentimes these school social work positions, you are going to be the only social worker on campus. So they want to know that you're going to be able to work in teams and work with other types of disciplines. So you want to share if you have the experience working on multidisciplinary teams. So if you've worked before with psychologists, with teachers, with administrators, definitely mention that, because in schools, you have to realize you're not just working with the students, you're also going to be working with the families, the teachers, the administrators, the nurses, the school psychologists, the special ed staff, there's just so many people. I honestly can't think of all of them right now, but if you can highlight that multidisciplinary teamwork, collaboration, correspondence, all those words are really key to the interview panel because they want to make sure that you're a great team player. Those are a few of my tips. Again, I'm going to leave so many resources down below for you, including the videos that are going to help you launch into the very first question, even before it's asked, which is the Tell Me About Yourself script. I cannot highlight this enough. This script is something that you're going to prepare on your own. It's kind of like an elevator speech, and I go into way more detail in the video that I've linked below. So be sure that you click and watch that. I have also shared a whole video on how to tailor your resume in order to fit the different jobs that you're trying to go out and interview for and get called in for an interview. So if you are watching this in preparation, that is definitely another video you're going to want to check out down below. Until next time, I'm wishing you so much social work success. Bye-bye. Okay, don't quite know what a school social work is. So I also shared how to tape